So, have you ever crammed for a massive test or maybe tried to memorize a huge presentation for work and felt like your brain was just full, like you were completely out of storage space? And if you shoved even one more fact in there, something else, like your own phone number or where you parked your car, was just going to fall right out. You know, we use all these tech analogies today. We talk about having brain fog, running out of mental storage, or we wish we could just upgrade our capacity like we do with a new smartphone. But what's the actual hard ceiling of human memory? Is there a point where we literally cannot learn one more thing? Well, let's dive into this explainer and find out.
Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. The limitless mind myth. 2. Working memory's tight bottleneck. 3. Forgetting is a biohack. 4. Secrets of super memorizers. 5. Cognitive offloading today. And 6. The final conclusion.
Section 1. The limitless mind myth. Biohardware and synaptic capacity. Okay, so in modern society, we often mistakenly treat the human brain exactly like a digital hard drive that just slowly fills up and runs out of room. But to find the actual ceiling of what we can remember, we really have to look past those simple computer analogies and dive straight into the neuroscience. Because unlike a computer, your brain doesn't store memories in individual, isolated binary bits tucked away in tidy little folders. Nope. It is this vast, living web of synapses, biological hardware that's constantly shifting, growing, and changing every single time you learn something new.
To truly grasp our massive capacity, you first have to realize the sheer, almost incomprehensible scale of the hardware we're working with here. The human brain contains roughly 86 billion neurons. Just let that number breathe for a second. 86 billion. And each one of those neurons is connected to thousands of others via those synapses we just talked about. It is a staggering, highly dynamic network of biological processing power that absolutely dwarfs any supercomputer we have ever built.
And because of this massive interconnecting network, scientists estimate our total potential storage is around 2.5 petabytes. To put that mind-blowing number into perspective for you, that is enough storage to hold roughly 3 million hours of high-definition video. I mean, if you left the TV on continuously, it would take you more than 300 years to use up all that storage. So, practically speaking, we don't ever physically run out of room. The hard drive is never actually full.
Section 2. Working memory's tight bottleneck. The real limit.
So here is the million-dollar question. If we have virtually infinite space, enough for millions of hours of video, why do we constantly forget the name of someone we just met 5 seconds ago? Or why we walked into the kitchen, right? If storage isn't the issue, what is? Well, the jarring answer lies in a tiny, single-digit number. While your long-term storage is vast, your working memory, which is essentially the brain's RAM, can only hold about 4 to 7 items at a single time. 4 to 7. This is the incredibly tight bottleneck that every single piece of information has to squeeze through in your daily life.
What this means is that our true limit isn't storage capacity at all, it's encoding and retrieval. Think of your working memory as a bouncer at the door of a really exclusive nightclub. If information in our short-term RAM isn't actively consolidated, it just gets filtered out before it ever has a chance to reach the massive hard drive of our long-term synaptic networks. So how do we get past the bouncer? Well, it requires deep focus, intentional repetition, and crucially, deep sleep. That's when your brain actually takes those 4 to 7 items and moves them from a temporary holding area into permanent long-term storage.
Section 3. Forgetting is a biohack. Evolution's filter.
We usually get incredibly frustrated when we forget things, right? We treat it like a glitch in our personal matrix. But actually, scratch that. Neuroscience tells us it's not a glitch at all. Evolutionary biology prioritizes selective memory, storing what keeps us alive and discarding the rest. It's an essential feature for our survival. Think about it. If your brain actually retained every single sensory detail it encountered, every blade of grass you walk past, every license plate on your commute, every ambient noise in a busy coffee shop, you would suffer from severe, debilitating cognitive overload. Your brain is a master filter, purposely discarding the daily noise so you can instantly focus on the important signals, the threats, the food, the social connections that actually keep you alive.
Section 4. Secrets of Supermemorizers. The Illusion of Limits.
So if our working memory is the bottleneck, how do memory champions memorize entire decks of cards or thousands of digits of pi in literally seconds? The secret is they don't have physically larger brains or more native synaptic capacity than you or me. They just know how to shatter the illusion of those limits by leveraging brilliant cognitive strategies. For example, they use the method of loci, also known as memory palaces, mapping abstract ideas onto vivid, familiar physical routes in their mind.
Imagine walking through your childhood home to remember a grocery list, maybe picturing a giant 10-foot apple sitting on the living room couch, or a geyser of milk erupting in the hallway. By converting abstract data into bizarre, vivid spatial imagery, it sticks. They also use chunking, grouping small, random bits of information into larger, meaningful units. By using these techniques, they entirely bypass that 4 to 7 item bottleneck. It perfectly proves that human memory limits are way more about technique than native biological hardware.
Section 5. Cognitive offloading today, the digital age.
Today, of course, most of us bypass our working memory limits in a completely different way. We're living in the digital age, which means we use smartphones, search engines, and note-taking apps as our external brain. This is a phenomenon called cognitive offloading, and it's kind of a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it brilliantly frees up valuable mental space for complex problem solving. You don't need to memorize 20 different phone numbers or step-by-step street directions anymore, so you can dedicate your mental energy to more creative things. But neuroscience warns us that heavily relying on this external brain might slowly weaken our natural retrieval pathways over time. It doesn't change our ultimate capacity. Those petabytes of storage are still up there, but it is changing how effectively we can access our own biological hard drive when we don't have a screen in front of us.
Section 6. The final conclusion. A functionally infinite mind.
Bringing all this incredible evidence together, we can confidently dismantle the myth that your memory has a rigid, finite upper limit like a filled-up computer hard drive. The science paints a much more expansive, dynamic picture of human potential. Ultimately, your brain's storage capacity is functionally infinite. You are equipped with billions of neurons and petabytes of potential space. The real power, and the real constraint, lies entirely in how effectively you focus your attention, how well you encode new information using the right techniques, and the time you dedicate to active, focused learning. You are truly in the driver's seat of your own cognitive capacity.
So I want to leave you with this final thought to ponder. Knowing that your capacity is basically limitless, what is the one thing you wish your brain could instantly and permanently remember without any effort? I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this, so let me know down in the comments below.
And hey, if you found this explainer on human memory fascinating, please subscribe for more deep dives. We love transforming complex science into clear visual takeaways. Thank you so much for hanging out and learning with me today, and I will see you in the next one.